This is my introduction to Sailing Wilson on YouTube. I'm Captain Wannabe Ian. Yes, I do have a sailing certificate. In fact, I have two. Whether I can sail or not is another story. I own a 2013 Island Spirit catamaran, 38 foot in length, and I really love my boat. This video is all about extending the upper deck to stop the rain coming in the galley and lounge area. When I first bought the boat in 2014, you can see that the stern of the boat was fairly open to the weather. These semicircular cutouts in the upper deck allowed rain to get into the galley and lounge areas. The following two photos show how open the stern of the boat was. Here you can see a circle around the helm station, and here you can see a circle around the port side lounge area looking out to an open gap. And up until now I've been putting in a temporary fix. When the weather gets really bad, I actually hang a canvas in addition to the blue curtain that hangs around the edges of the davit on the stern of the boat. In the cabin areas of both port and starboard hulls, you've got three bulkheads, and between the bulkheads are these doors to separate the toilet and the cabin. And the middle bulkhead also had a door, but it was never used, so I removed that door and I used it as shelving temporarily until I came up with the idea of reinforcing the upper deck. Here you can see that I've extended out the vertical part of the wall, but I realised it just wasn't good enough, and then I came up with the idea of extending the upper deck roof to the lounge and galley areas to stop the weather getting in. These were the old doors, and I found use for them as shelving, but then I decided they were strong enough to double up on the width of the upper deck. So I'm putting two layers of that door in the area where I want to stop the weather. Okay, I've cut with the jigsaw the panels for the upper deck to stop the rain coming in as much as it has been. It just goes straight down onto the cushions in the lounge area. So I've measured where I'm going to put the dowel on the bottom one. And I've drilled holes at the appropriate lengths and cut dowel, and then hammered it in with a mallet so that it should slide in nice and neat. And we'll see how we go. I've begun the process of adding a little bit to the upper deck to stop the rain from coming in to the galley area. And you can see I've taken one of the old doors and I've cut it to shape, and hopefully there'll be enough overhang there to stop the water from not only getting into the galley area, but also to protect the area that I intend to put the helm gauges and chart plotter. So here's the view from above. I've put some dowel in where those red marks are to give it some strength, and then I'll be fiberglassing it in place, and hopefully that will be enough to stop the weather. Here's a view from below of the extension, fiberglassed in place and supported until it dried, and there's still a little bit of work to be done. And here's a view of the same area from above using some offcuts. There you can see the dowel holes have been drilled in the right place, or close to the right place, and then the extension bashed into place with a soft mallet. And it's starting to take form, take shape, and that should stop the weather. You can see the first plank or extension in place from the top, and now you can see the second extension on the top deck in place but not secure yet. It has to be sanded and made to fit a bit better, and then it'll be fiberglassed into place. Well, it's in place, it's fiberglassed and supported until it dries, but I'm not sure whether it's going to be strong enough because the overhang is quite significant. It may need a pole similar to this pole, but down to the step here, so that it will take the weight. At the moment you couldn't possibly step on it. So I'm rather pleased with the way it turned out. A little bit more cleaning up and more fiberglass into the little holes, and I'll probably put a piece of double bias mat across the top and extend it across the deck a little bit to give it a bit more strength. May even do it on the bottom. This is what happens when you forget to wear a mask and goggles when you're sanding. So with the sun shining on it, you can see the blemishes, and I've ground it off, sanded it off, and now I'm going to paint it, and I'll probably paint it with a combination of filler and non-slip paint. I've ground off all the high spots and sanded it back, and now I'm going to use a combination of filler and white paint. I'll probably use the non-slip paint to hide the blemishes. Well, the combination of non-slip paint and gloss didn't work. It congealed slightly. There's a rough surface there, but I'm going to have to finish it off again with some high gloss when it dries. Again, on this side it congealed and it's quite lumpy, and I don't know how I'm going to fix it. I'll probably paint another coat of high gloss on. And here's an image of before I started the work to stop the weather, and here's a video afterwards. I'll probably have to sand it down a little bit and put a coat of high gloss or more non-slip, a better non-slip product. Here's an image of the starboard helm station area before I started the work, and here's a video of the after job. Well, I'm not happy with using the non-slip to do the whole job. I'll probably clean up some areas and paint it with a high gloss to finish it off. The next day it rained quite heavily for a few hours, and I took this video image of that rain, and as you can see it was reasonably heavy, and a few hours of heavy rain showed up that the job I'd done with the extension to the upper deck to stop that rain worked well, so I was very, very pleased. This video shows you some of the area that on the inside of the boat that I still have to finish, sand it, fill it and paint it, and that includes the vertical partition wall, and here you can see how there's no water getting in or hardly any water getting into that lounge area. So, and here's a video image of the helm station area on the starboard side of the boat with the heavy rain and wind, and the rain coming down, and it didn't get in. You can see here where the extension to the upper deck has stopped the hat and the galley area from getting too wet, So I'm completely happy with the job I've done, and there's still a little bit more work to do. The video was produced by myself. So that's the end of another exciting episode of extending the upper deck to stop the rain getting into the lounge and galley areas. I'm sure you've heard this before, but please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and push on the notification bell. That'd help a lot. By the way, please share my videos